He was the director of operations at the Milton Access TV. And a few years back, you and I did a skit with Trump.
Yes.
And you was Hillary.
Yes.
You was Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about that while you're talking. I'm trying to keep a straight face because he said he wants to tune in today and want to hear some jokes. So, but we're going to get the serious business out of the way first. We're going to get the serious business out of the way first because that wasn't fun. It was you.
I can't believe we did that. I had a wig. We wore
I had
wigs
a wig.
and everything.
It was so funny. I had a Trump wig and Mark Conrad, who was a former Milton police officer. He was Lester Strong.
Yes. I didn't know. I forgot that he was a former police officer.
Yeah, he was former, and he also was the former executive director of the parole board for the state of Massachusetts. But so pardon me if I'm like grinning, and I'm going to keep a straight face because this is serious business. Let's get to the business first.
Okay.
And then we can just go right into.
We can have some fun, and honestly, I'm actually having fun.
Okay.
Although this is business,
okay.
I'm truly having fun, just being involved and actually getting to know my neighbors. You know, I'm not just a brown person walking down the street anymore. I'm actually someone that could potentially be, someone that you could talk to if I win, you could talk to me about certain concerns that you have in the neighborhood.
In Brookline.
That's
interesting.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's because honestly, I could tell you this, and you know this. I grew up in Mission Park,
right?
And I would come home at 3:00 in the morning in my own neighborhood, where that most people, non-black and brown people, would probably think is scary. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel, if I'm walking home 3:00 in the morning, never feeling afraid. I moved to Brookline, just up the street, and I was actually more afraid walking through Brookline.
Interesting.
And felt uncomfortable walking through the town when I first moved there because I was, a minority. So am I safe? Will people get freaked out that a brown person is walking through their, walking on their street? Like, I could just feel the energy. So it's just so it really helps to get involved too, because now they have a name with a face, and they know that you live on their street, and they know that and they feel safe. It's so we're, as black and brown people, we're still having to prove that we're not dangerous.
Right.
And that is the vibe that I get. It's just like, okay, how can I, how many things can I wear? Or what can I put on, put on every day to show you that I'm not dangerous?
Right.
And little me, I've never fought, I'm not a violent person. You know what I mean? I've never been a violent person. But it doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know about that. I was listening to your skit.
Oh.
You really acted that part out.
Which part?
It was the one you cussed like a sailor.
I do cuss like a sailor, and I'm not gonna cuss today. I promise.
Okay.
I really
you might get our license revoked.
Oh, see, okay, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, I can do my jokes without the cussing.
But yeah, so how has the experience been running for office? I mean, it's because folks don't realize. I mean, although it's a local seat or local office member, it's still interacting with people.
Yes.
It's still the level of stress. It's still all these things that are going on, and you still want to get to the finish line and be successful. How has that experience been?
It's been an ordeal. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's like sun up, sun down. It's just, asking for help,
yes.
Asking for people to campaign for you. And I've never, and I sent out messages to friends thinking, they weren't going to help me, and then I've gotten responses.
Right.
So it's just like, wow, okay, this is interesting. Just when you, and then you have to figure out who you are, what you stand for. And that's been an interesting experience too. Because one of someone on the select board in Brookline asked me a very interesting question. He said, "What do you stand for?"
Right.
And then all of a sudden, a flood of just feelings came over me because I was like, no one's ever asked me that before.
Right.
And, and how can I, let's figure that out. And then the thing is like, you also have to hone in, you have to focus in on just specifically your town as well. There, you stand for many things.
Right.
And I stand for many things, and hopefully, all of those things will be addressed, or I'll make efforts toward them in the future. But for the time being, what do I stand for within this town? Like the place that I live, like what is it that I want to see changed, or so the first and foremost is affordable housing.
Right.
So just being able to maintain my residency there for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. And then of course, some people might think, well, you have to think bigger. You have to, you don't have a broke mentality type of thing. It's like, sure, but I'm just being realistic about where I am right now. Mm-hmm. We'll make those changes and grow, and of course do whatever you got to do to increase your income if you want to make more money. Yeah, strive for bigger, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's fine too, but today I'm my little self sitting right here. This is my budget, and this is all I can spend on rent. So please, help me out here,
right?
Because the housing crisis is really bad all over Massachusetts.
Right.
I don't want to live in the outskirts of some town I don't even know about. You know what I mean? So they're pushing us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 2 minutes left, and before we're going to go to the second broadcast, but can you just tell us a quick joke?
Okay, sure. So I was born in Eritrea, okay? And all that means is that I don't have a birth certificate. Mm-hmm. Most Eritreans of my generation don't. Mm-hmm. So when we come to the States, we literally pick a birthday like it's on a menu.
Right.
So my mom was like, okay, who wants September? Anyone? So they gave me June. So my birthday in the States is June 10th, but I was actually born on the 17th. 1 week off, no big deal. But if you ask my mother how old she is, she'd be like, well, I'm between 35 and 95. And I'm like, what? Okay, Mom. Well, can I help you out? Do you remember how old you were when you married Dad? And she was like, of course. Between 8 and 27. I'm like, what? Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any more time for that joke, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay, we're going to be right back. We're going to continue with Awet Time. Be right back.